Boom. Right out of a gate, it's a harsh reality, isn't it? Let's just be completely honest from the start here. Life tries to kick us in the back the literal moment we wake up in the morning. That is exactly how the source text we're exploring today frames the human experience. And honestly, they don't sugarcoat it one bit. Life doesn't inherently try to please us. Actually, it's quite the opposite. It presents this immediate daily friction. The moment that alarm goes off, the challenges, the emails, the obligations, the anxieties, they all just start kicking. But what if we could totally flip the script on that reality?
Welcome to today's Explainer. Today we are diving deep into an absolutely incredible concept from our source material, Architecting a Legacy of Purpose. We aren't just going to sit here and talk about surviving the day-to-day grind, no way. We're going to explore a profoundly introspective mental exercise designed to build a vision so compelling it literally pulls you right out of the mud. So get ready to do some real mental framing with me, because this is all about designing the ultimate trajectory for your life.
Okay, let's dive into this. Part 1. Escaping the daily rut and finding the pull.
So our default state, it's getting totally lost in the rut of life. If you don't actively intervene, the text warns us that you just end up endlessly reacting to those daily kicks we talked about. But thankfully, the author gives us an antidote, the absolute necessity of being pulled ahead. And there's a really crucial distinction being made here. Unless we have a specific goal, a defined mission, or just this burning passion, we don't have that forward momentum. You see, you can't just try to push yourself out of the rut. It just doesn't work. You must have a destination so magnetic that it actively pulls you ahead, completely overriding the daily grind. Moving on to part 2, the introspection exercise, stepping back to look forward. Let's slow down for a second and really think about this step.
Because here is the core essential question you really need to ask yourself. How do you want to look in the future? I want you to take a breath and actually step out of whatever current struggles you're dealing with today. Just for a moment, forget the emails, forget the immediate stress. The text is asking you to transport yourself mentally into the future. How do you want to see yourself? What exactly is the ultimate, finished portrait of your life's work? Now, what's really interesting about this is how the source material actually redefines introspection for us. We so often think of introspection as just looking backward, right? Analyzing our flaws or dwelling on past mistakes. But in this context, introspection is entirely forward-looking. It's highly active. It is the practice of actively imagining future possibilities where you accomplish noble things. It's all about building a vivid mental picture of future impact that is so strong you can almost taste it. It allows you to relish the preciousness of that imagined moment right here, right now. Which brings us to part 3, visualizing your legacy, the architecture of impact. This is where things get really specific. Let's walk through this incredible blueprint step by step. The text asks you to imagine a future where you're doing a few very specific things. First off, inspiring others and creating real, tangible value for them. Imagine the actual people whose lives are significantly better just because of your work. Next, picture earning immense respect. And not by demanding it, but strictly because of the positive impact you've had on their lives. The author even suggests visualizing a highly specific scenario, like giving an inspirational talk on a stage, looking out at an audience you've genuinely moved. Picture yourself providing livelihood to others, creating jobs and real security. Imagine accomplishing something truly noble, getting rewarded for it when you least expect it, and, in that absolute pinnacle moment, looking around and acknowledging all the people who supported and encouraged you through the difficulties of life. It's just a breathtaking, completely comprehensive vision of success. And the payoff of doing this visualization? It is profoundly emotional. The text describes it as, quote, the amazing feeling of being revered because you have made a positive impact in others' lives. Just sit with that word for a second. Revered. Not just liked, not just successful, revered. This deep, profound sense of reverence only comes from one place, and that's from lifting others up. It is absolutely the emotional climax of the author's visualization exercise. But to get to that level of reverence, there's a bit of a catch. You must work on a mission larger than yourself. The text really emphasizes that this ultimate vision requires tireless dedication to something way beyond your own immediate needs and definitely beyond your own ego. You have to be serving a cause, a community, or an ideal that completely dwarfs your individual daily complaints. Let's move to and see how this builds. Part 4, Fuel for the Journey, Converting Emotion to Momentum. This is where it becomes a really practical tool. This next part brilliantly illustrates the whole paradigm shift the author is going for. Look at this advice.
Cherish the struggles and pain endured. Crazy, right? But when you have that grand, noble vision completely locked into your mind, your relationship with today's pain changes entirely. You can look at those daily kicks in the back we talked about at the very beginning, and you can actually cherish them. Why? Because they are the necessary struggles you absolutely must survive to get to that stage. They literally become the origin story of your legacy. The pain isn't just pain anymore, it's the cost of admission to your higher purpose.
And the text states that when you picture these future possibilities and how your current struggles are forging you for that exact destiny, it should trigger a very real physical reaction. You should get chills. You should feel an immense sense of gratitude just to be in a position to imagine these possibilities. Think about it. Even if you are deep in the rut right now, the sheer ability to architect this mental legacy is a massive gift. It is supposed to move you deeply.
So the crucial point is summarized perfectly in our source text's final thesis. When we feel these kinds of intense emotions, the chills, the immense gratitude, that undeniable pull of the future, they are strong enough to, quote, provide the fuel that propels us through this journey called life. That's the secret right there. We don't run on willpower alone. Willpower depletes, it runs out. We run on the intense emotional fuel generated by a clear, passionate connection to our future, noble purpose. That fuel is exactly what makes us immune to those daily kicks. Which brings us to the final, absolutely most critical question derived from our explainer today. I want you to truly ask yourself right now, what larger mission will provide the fuel for your journey? You know the architecture now. You know you need a mission larger than yourself to generate that magnetic pull. So, what is it going to be for you? Please, don't let another morning go by just taking the hits. Start architecting your legacy of purpose today. Find your fuel and let it propel you forward.